Hello, my name is Sarah. Welcome to the It is a Sarah podcast. Today it is Monday, June 24, 2024, and this is again a week filled with daily episodes. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and I love to talk. So that's the perfect combination for making daily episodes. There will be a little change. I'm making daily episodes since a few weeks and I'm really loving it. I really love doing it, but it's quite time consuming. So I did spend a big part of my day on talking a little bit, filming a little bit, editing a little bit, and over again to create a nice little video for you, a nice little episode. But there are two things happening. One, we are quite close to our holidays, and that means that my girls, they don't have any lessons more. They don't have any lessons at their school. There will be some small activities every now and then, but they will be home a lot more than they normally are. And I don't want to be... It was quite a big... I was quite often in a big hurry to manage it all in time, and I don't want my day to be filled with all the editing and filming parts, so that there won't be any time left to spend on my girls. And also, I don't have much knitting time at the moment. I am used to have a very much knitting time, and now I'm spending all my knitting time on editing the episodes. And that was okay for all the weeks I did it, but now I really feel that I miss my knitting time. So I want it more. So what I will do is, I for one moment I thought, is it okay? Is this the right moment to stop making daily videos? But I didn't want it because I'm having so much fun. So I will continue making the daily videos, but I will make it a little bit more easy for me. I will do a chatting part. And then in the early morning, I can do that while my girls are still asleep. And then during the day, I will film a little bit here and there, and I will all edit at the end of the video with a little music under it. And if you are interested in that, you can see it, but only one part of talking. Today the talking part will be quite long because I have a lot to share with you. I had such a nice weekend filled with all the crafty adventures. So yeah, but let me start with what I'm wearing. I am wearing another version of my little secret crop, a design by Jessie Maed Designs. I made it 2 years ago. I held 2 yarns double, quite a thin cotton yarn I found in the thrift store. It is cotton from the 60s and 70s. In the Netherlands, they did a lot of filet crochet. I think you say it in English that way too. All the curtains and the pillows. No, I don't have one close to me. No. Crocheted with that natural undyed off-white color. And I had quite some, I had found quite some in the thrift store. So I held it double with scrappy fingering weight yarn. All sock yarns, I guess. So it is wool and cotton, but it's quite warm today, but not really itchy yet. I'm wearing a camisole under it. I must say, it's quite tight. There's quite some negative ease, and I think there is a little bit more of Sarah than there was last summer, because I saw this and I thought, did I have it last year too? I think I have, but maybe it did grow in the winter. It's okay, but it was quite obvious. So I'm also wearing a finished object. It is a hard jumping finished object. Let me stand up. It is my Estuary skirt. Yoo-hoo! Sarah's a happy sewer. I finished it yesterday, but I won't deep dive in the process today. I will keep that for tomorrow because I have a lot of other things from the weekend on my list, and tomorrow I won't wear it, so I can hold it up and I can share you all the details, because I must confess I did need a little bit of Sarah sauce to make it as a fitting skirt. But it all worked out well, and I'm very happy wearing it today for the first time. It really feels nice, and it's brown. I will share all the details about it with you tomorrow in tomorrow's video. Okay, but let me go back to Thursday afternoon. I had to check my agenda, what I did and what I want to share with you, because you might have seen a little bit in my video from Thursday. I had a lunch date in the city center and I visited the yarn shop, and that was really nice. It's quite a new yarn shop in my town. There are a few yarn shops. They are okay, but they are not selling the yarn I love to work with. This yarn shop is also not selling the yarn I love to work with, but she is discovering all the different kinds of yarn. So I have a little bit hope that she will add it to her assortiment. We say that in Dutch. To her collection. But the shop is very nice. It's looking very nice, and the lady, she is fantastic. She is such a generous, sweet, happy lady. It is really a heart-jumping lady. So I really suddenly realized the local yarn shop feeling. I never had that because there was no local yarn shop I would visit for buying all my yarn. So I bought my yarn online when I needed it, or when I visited a yarn shop in another town. There are lovely yarn shops in the Netherlands, but not really in my town. But I suddenly realized maybe this will become my favorite local yarn shop. That was a nice feeling. She will start organizing knit nights. She already does that on Tuesday afternoon, but that's not a good moment in the week for me. And she will do a monthly knit night starting next week. So that was really making me happy too. So I will definitely visit that. And happy. But when I visited her yarn shop last time, for the first time, I really wanted to buy some yarn, but I left the shop in quite a hurry because it was already much later than I thought, so I didn't buy anything. And one of the yarns I do love she buys is from her own sheep, but I didn't want to buy one skein, and I didn't have the project in mind yet. But I also want to support the yarn shop, but it's quite hard when you don't really need the yarns. But then I realized she was selling a yarn I own a lot myself. It is called Annelle Malmedy, and it's a Belgium yarn. It's sold by a Belgium company. And I helped as a volunteer in a yarn shop a few years ago, and she closed her shop. She had to close it. And this was my first experience with woolly yarns. I did start my crochet career with the cheap acrylic yarns. With this yarn, I discovered that I loved wool much more. And it's perfect to crochet with. I have this pillow next to me, and I think I received a memory on Instagram from a picture. It's already 7 years old. I made it 7 years ago, and all that time it was laying at our couch, and it's still looking pretty good. And I also made blankets with this yarn. They are looking very good. The only thing I don't understand, when I knit with it, I'm not very happy. Crochet is perfect and it will last very good, but I knitted a sweater for myself and for my little niece, and it was pilling and not looking nice. So I did buy from that old yarn shop, a lot of those yarns with a big discount, and it's in my collection. But it was also in the time that I learned knitting. So at first I only crocheted, then I learned knitting, and now I do both. And I prefer knitting for making garments, but I still crochet every day because I just love that for blankets and all the other stuff. But I have a lot of this yarn and I won't knit it up, so they all will be blankets. I didn't had this lovely shade of green anymore, and I collected a basket filled with some colors because I want to crochet a new blanket for my son, for our son. He will study in Belgium next year in September, so he will go, oh yes, how do you say it in English? He will live on a campus. It's not really how it is. In Belgium they say he goes on kot. In Dutch we say he will go on kamers, live on chambers, live in a room. Doesn't make sense when I translate it. But as a student does when he goes to university. And I want to make him a blanket. But first I have to finish my Prague blanket, but I already have the yarn. And I also received a lovely skein of hand-dyed sock yarn from the owner. She gifted it to me. It was very generous. Let me show it to you in detail, because it's really beautiful. Light brown and green. Yes. My dog is laying next to me on the floor. She always wants to be around. Lovely sock yarn, but it is merino sock yarn, so it might become a summer top too. I don't know. I will add it to my collection, but it was very sweet and generous, so I'm a happy person. Then Friday afternoon, I visited another yarn shop. In another city, Dordrecht. I had an appointment with one of my knitting friends. Her name is Mirjam Molenbeek. Mirjam also makes episodes on YouTube, but only in Dutch, and she has a company which creates online knitting lessons for beginner knitters. So if you don't have a friend or a yarn shop around you, or if you prefer to teach your new knitting skills online, you can become a member, and she makes all the tutorials, and you can learn all the knitting techniques. So we had a date, we would have dinner together, and of course we visited the yarn shop in Dordrecht. That's a city in between the city where I live and the city where Mirjam lives. And there is Rebel with a Twist. The shop owner's name is Alexandra, and it's really a beautiful, lovely yarn shop. I visited it before. She started at her home that was also cozy and tiny and lovely, and then she moved to a bigger shop, and yeah, it's such in a nice street filled with all the nice and cozy shops, and there's a lovely yarn shop, and we were quite late, so she already was closed, but she had the time for a good chat, and of course I did buy some yarn. I did buy 2 balls of Knitting for Olive pure silk. I'm really into the summer yarns. I used to knit my summer items with woolly yarns, but that's not a good combination. So now I'm exploring all the summer yarns, and she was selling this, and I was very curious. I did check my Ravelry library for a pattern. The Oolong tank, I guess. It was gifted to me by a lovely viewer. I'm not sure if I will make that. I loved it, but later I saw all the other lovely patterns, so I have to check that. But with only 2 skeins I could make a version for myself. So we shall see. A lovely color, dark cognac, lovely brown. So I will try that. I don't know why. I don't know when. 2025 maybe, but it is in my stash right now. And then I moved back home. We had a lovely dinner, Mirjam and I. It was very nice and we had a good chat. And I drove home quite quickly because it was a soccer game. The Dutch team had to play. And also next Saturday I had to leave early because there was another crafting day. One of my other knitting friends, her name is Lonneke, she organized something very special. How do you call it? Let me search for the word. I'm sorry. Yes. She organized a red thread craft reflection day. She does that for her daily job, making reflection moments, creating reflection moments for older people who live, how do you call that? In retirement homes, and around the seasons, and she shared beautiful poems and nice words and some creative activity, and there was some room for chatting. She does that as her daily job. And once, she's one of my knitting friends, and once she also did it for us with a small group. She created a reflection moment around knitting and crochet, a little bit of personal stuff, beautiful music, poems, and also creating something. And it was so heart jumping. That was so special to do. And now she organized a day for everybody who wants to join. And of course I joined because I loved it. And she picked a beautiful place in nature. It was an outdoor activity all day. There were hills, not at the sea, but just in the woods. Beautiful, a lot of sand around us, a little bit of forest. And there were all the blankets and pillows, and we could just sit in a circle around candles. And we were with a small group. I think we were with 12 ladies. Some of them I did know, some of them not, but all the ladies were so lovely and great. All crafters, all knitters and crocheters. And we just had such a good time. It was so special. Lonneke shared poems with us, and she gave us some nice words, and she gave us the space to share our words, and she gave us a little exercise. We had to create something around a special theme, and I won't go into detail, but it was such a special day. I felt really connected with myself, but also with all the people who there were, and I really love to connect your personal growth and your personal well-being to my crafting, to my knitting and crochet. When you watch my episodes, you may have noticed that I find a lot of personal well-being, happiness into my knitting and crochet. And it's really hard jumping for me to learn that way about how I can learn new things, how I can become myself as much as possible. What is hard jumping to me? I really love that. And this was exactly what I love and what I like. It was so special. And we made a little thing. There was a little exercise and we had to craft something, and I knit this little tiny bag. I don't know if it's not working. Where is my camera? There it is. Yeah, there you go. This tiny little thing. And we also received a beautiful red skein. Ligt een beetje in de weg, jij. It was especially dyed for this day by a Dutch dyer, and it's called Lonneke's Red. And the label has a special message. Let me translate it. shine with your unique power and the world will be a little bit more beautiful. I think you can catch that in a better sentence, but you know what I mean right now. And this little tiny bag, we all received a sunstone, a gemstone. And yeah, it is really a perfect reminder of your own power, and it gives you an uplifting feeling. I did put it in the sun so it could reload, and then I put it in my pocket, and I love it when my hands go in my pocket and I feel this tiny little thing, and it is always uplifting. So it was really nice and fun, and I will think of something special for this cane, but I don't know what yet, but I'm not in a hurry. For me, the knitting and crochet, discovering that and enjoying that, it was so heart jumping for me doing that. It really did let me shine, and still let me shine, and yeah, I love it. So it resonates really with me. So that was a lovely day. And then yesterday it was quite I shared a little video on Instagram. Where are my notes? There's too much open on my laptop here. I shared a little video on Instagram yesterday. So if you are interested, you can see a little bit about the day. Saturday it was. Oh, I did forgot to share my button story. That also happened Friday morning. You can't believe it, but this is the original button. I lost a button. I cut it off from my Senna cardigan. I put it somewhere on a logical place to use it later. I forgot the logical place, couldn't find it anywhere. The lady from who I received the buttons sent me a message, asked me, can you send me a picture? Maybe I do have one left. She did. She sent it to me. I received it Thursday. I put it on my Senna cardigan. It was a heart-jumping moment because I could wear it again. And Friday morning, I was wearing the skirt, the black skirt I was also wearing when I lost the button. And my pockets were quite full. I love skirts, wearing skirts with deep pockets, so you can put all the things in it. I thought, okay, it's time to clean my pockets. So I emptied my pockets, and then suddenly the button fell on the floor. And I thought, no. The pocket of my skirt was the first place I looked, and I checked several times. But and no button, of course. And what was in my pocket? I had a grocery list, folded double, and a doggy poo bag, an empty one, of course. And I'm quite sure that the button was hidden into a fold of the grocery list paper. And I didn't check that. And afterwards, I think that's quite silly, because it's quite logical. A button can hide into the folds, but I didn't do that. And I checked my pocket several times, and suddenly it was there. So now I am doubting a little bit of my own truth. What you are looking for is looking for you too, because it seems to me now that my button didn't want to be on my cardigan, because at the moment that wasn't needed anymore. It appears. So that's quite interesting. I will do something special with this button, but I don't know what yet. maybe I have to connect them. Yeah, interesting. But it will always come back to you, one way or the other. It made me laugh. Yesterday, I was so tired of all the busy, nice and fun things I had to do. But we had another appointment. We had to visit an exposition of the daughter, the 13-year-old daughter of friends. She is doing creative classes at school, and they put all the creative work from all the students together in a big exposition, because it's the end of the school year. And we went to look for it, to see it. There's a better word for it. And it was really lovely. She made the most beautiful things and all the students made the most beautiful things. I even saw a crochet granny stripe sweater. It was made by a boy. That was so much fun. He wasn't there, but it was a beautiful sweater. I would wear it immediately. So that was nice. But after that, I visited the city center. I don't like shopping. I don't like the city center. But I needed some pillowcases. We have a big lounge set in the garden. We have a very small garden. And last year we received the lounge set from my parents-in-law. They moved to a smaller house. They didn't have the space for it anymore. And we were all very happy with the lounge set because you have a couch in your garden that's very luxurious. And we love sitting there and when it's nice weather. But the only thing, it wasn't a beautiful one. It is looking good, but it's grey. And I don't think grey is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. It's quite, I think a lot of people would love it, but I don't. And also the material of the pillows, it is that material that can also get wet when it rains a little bit, but it's synthetic, something synthetic. And when it's warm and when I'm sitting on it, I don't want something synthetic under my butt and in my back. So I covered the whole couch, the whole lounge set with all the blankets all the time, but it was looking messy. And then yesterday I realized I can put pillow covers over the pillow, so then from cotton, and then it will feel better. But we didn't have enough, so I went to the city center to find a few extra because all the thrift shops were closed, and I want them now. I wanted them now. And then I visited the shop Søstrene Grene. I think it's Danish, and you need to say Søstrene Grene, I guess. I don't know. In Dutch we say Søstrene Grene. I don't know if there are shops in all the countries, but it's absolutely such a shop. It's better to not visit it because there are all the things you didn't know you need them, but when you are walking through that shop you want them all. And I was looking for pillowcases, but I didn't find them. But there was a lot of other stuff. They have just a nice, lovely prints and all, but I don't need that stuff. And yeah, it's better to not buy it. So I was at the end of the shop, the point where the kassa. What's the English word for kassa? Where you have to pay. The checkout, I guess. And there was a lovely lady, and I said I didn't buy anything, and she said okay, have a nice day. And then there was a big cabinet filled with shoppers. And apparently I needed those shoppers in my life. Let me show them to you. I did buy two. They have lovely prints, haven't they? These are quite big plastic shoppers, and with a zipper on top. Very big. You can put a lot of stuff in it. And I suddenly thought, okay, I need those for two things. In the first place, for my woolly garments. I always store my winter garments. I store them in a plastic box when it's summer. We have moths in the house, and quite a lot. And I'm not afraid of them, not really. We have a bit of a complicated relationship because they don't touch my good woolly yarns, but I do kill them when I see them. So it's a bit out of balance, that relationship. I feel guilty about it, but I can't help it. When I see one, I get it. But that's the only thing I do. There's a lot of wool in the house. Only our couch, the couch is 100% wool. The carpet, I have wool everywhere, and there's enough wool. They're open for they can attach it. And I hope my good yarns. It's in plastic and with lavender and cedar wood and all the things. So I hope they will leave it alone. They will they will put their eggs in the cheaper woolies. But I don't want to hang my winter garments all summer on my clothing rack because I won't wear it anyway. But I didn't have any space left, and now I found a big bag. And it's warm and sunny again, so I picked the latest items from my rack and I washed them, and now I have put them in the sun for a few hours, and then I can store them in that beautiful bag. But there's another occasion I needed them for. We don't have a caravan anymore, so we will go on holiday with very small little tents. And my husband, he's really a collector, a gatherer. We have a big collection of those North Face sporty big bags. Very practical, very steady, and also very not my taste. I won't say ugly because it's personal. But I suddenly realized when we go with little tents, camping with little tents, we have to put our clothes in bags. And yeah, I think my husband thinks we will put them in such an ugly, such a handy, steady bag. But I thought it can also be in this lovely flowery bag. So we shall see. I think he will put it in his bag anyway, but then I can put that lovely flowery bag on top of it, so you won't see it. I really don't like to surround me with things I don't like to look at. For me, it's very important that there are beautiful things around me. Yeah. Okay. So I bought that. And when they are really nice to work with, then I will buy more. And they won't protect my woolly garments 100% from the moths, because nothing does. When the moths really want to eat them in, they can do anyway, but also in a plastic box. So then I will knit it over and over again. Then I came home, and yesterday I did wear, maybe you saw my Instagram post, but I did wear a blue pants. And that was quite confusing because I never wear pants and I definitely never blue. But there's a story. I had a reason for it. I bought this pants a few weeks ago in a thrift store. I thought it would be nice for one of my girls. I was a bit afraid it was such a polyester thing, so a plastic thing I didn't like, but it appeared to be silk with a little bit of viscose, and I loved the feeling of that. And it was very low priced, €3 I guess. So I thought, okay, I bring it with me for one of the girls, and when they don't like it, we can always give it to a friend or something. My girls are very critical about their wardrobe, and I don't know from who they have that. My mom does know. And they were indeed not very enthusiastic, but it was allowed to hang in the wardrobe, in the closet from my eldest girl. But I have a problem. I have a problem on my right leg. I have a very ugly spot on my right leg. A few weeks ago, during my say goodbye to the caravan trip on the camping place, I was attacked by mosquitoes quite heavily. Mosquitoes always love me. I have good blood, I guess, but every now and then I get an allergic reaction on mosquito bites, and that was happening now too. One of the mosquito bites, it became a big blister, and I won't share all the details with you. Believe me, it was a nasty spot. And that was a few weeks ago, and now it is healed. And it was also not really a problem because it was so cold in the Netherlands. I could wear my leggings all the time. But now it's the perfect weather for bared legs. Bared legs? Bare legs. No leggings. Because it's quite hot and your legs can be free and wild with no layer over it. But it's a bit of my weak spot. I guess I'm quite sure, everybody has weak spots about their body. I am quite confident with my body. I love my body. I love the way I look. I'm very okay. That's not always been that way, but now it is. But I have a weak spot. I am feeling insecure about my legs, and not specific the shape of my legs. That's okay, but more the color of my legs, the skin of my legs. My legs are quite pale, but I also have those little blue veins shining through the pale skin, and quite often mosquito bites, so they are also having not nice looking red spots, and it always makes me a bit insecure about my legs. So I did always wear leggings, even when it was quite warm. My friends always told me I was crazy, but I felt better with leggings than with my ugly legs. But last year I realized that it doesn't make sense to be so hard on yourself on a part of your body that you can't change anyway. Why should you? I love the feeling of bared legs, so why should I be so hard on myself and feeling warm with wearing leggings all the time to hide a part of myself which is really part of myself? I had a colleague once, she had a tattoo on her leg, and I even considered, should a tattoo solve my problem? A tattoo about the parts I don't like? But then I realized I have my Sarah tattoo. All those little veins are my personal tattoo. Don't be so silly. So last year I embraced my legs. I embraced the imperfections. Probably your own imperfections are not visible for a lot of other people most of the time, but I can see them. So I decided to embrace them, and my legs, I told myself every day, my legs are strong and healthy. I love my legs. Mosquitoes won't bite into my legs. Those 3 sentences. There's the mailman. I don't know if he will visit our house. It's quite a handsome mailman. I hope he will be at our house. He was a bit too young for me. And my husband is upstairs. No, I'm joking. But it's always nice to look at handsome men, isn't it? I was at my leg story. So I repeated those 3 sentences over and over again, and I was happy with my legs. They were not bothering me as much as they normally did. And I even didn't have mosquito bites on my legs. That was very special. But I forgot to repeat those sentences this summer. I didn't do that. So now I have a big spot on my leg. And I asked my husband this morning because it was bared leg day. And I said, oh, look at it. And he said it's quite special that it's such a perfect round circle. He said it looks like a scarification, and I didn't know what that was. So he explained to me a scarification is a brand mark. I don't know if that's the correct translation. In the Middle Ages and the Vikings, they put brand marks on them or other scars for the showing that they are part of a group or just for the beautiness of it. He said it looks like a brand mark. So I said, oh, then I have a scarification from a yarn ball. But I actually prefer the shape of a yarn skein. But now I have a yarn ball on my right leg. It's absolutely visible, and I will embrace it. It will be there all summer because it is healed, but the skin needs some extra time to get the same color as the rest, if it ever will be. The good thing is that it's so obvious and so visible that the focus is not on my other imperfections anymore. It all goes to that scarification. So as the Dutch, the most famous Dutch soccer player Johan Cruyff always says, I have to do it right. Every con has its pro, and that's definitely true. And it's a good thing when you can find your pros and your cons, but it is a challenge. It is a challenge, but I'm doing it anyway. But I won't show you my scarification, but maybe it's a little bit visible in my filming at the end of the video. So then But I was telling why I was wearing the trousers, the pants. I forgot my whole story. I was at the knitting day, at the reflection day last Saturday, and two of my knitting friends were wearing, one of them was wearing a white pair of trousers, and the other one was wearing a long linen skirt. And then I realized, if I have such a problem with my legs, maybe I should make myself more longer items, that I don't really hide my legs, but also I don't have to show them. I can still feel the nice feeling of the air through my legs and the nice fabric through my legs, but without feeling so insecure about the things I don't like on my legs. So, and suddenly I realized, I remembered this pair of trousers. So I put it on, and the silk, the fabric, oh, it feels heavenly to your legs. It was quite warm yesterday, but it's just flowing around your legs. It feels so nice. It's quite wide and a little bit too long. So I fell off the stairs almost 3 times because I would stand on the ends of the trousers. But I really want to search for a pattern to create a longer skirt or a longer, maybe a pants. I don't wear pants, never, but maybe I will. So that was quite a long story to tell you that I will search for another sewing project. I will tell you all about the sewing project I'm wearing today. I won't make a longer one from this because it's going that shape and it will be too wide. I prefer a more straight shape, but I will search for it. Yeah, that was enough for now. Let me check. Didn't I skip anything from my list? No, I told you everything. I will have some nice knitting time now. So yesterday I picked up my Hildegard vest, a Dutch pattern. I picked it up again, and it's a bit tangled, but I am busy knitting the second front panel, and I really want to finish it because now summer is arrived. I really want to knit all the summer tops. I didn't feel it really, but now I want knit all the tops. So I want to finish this one first, and then I will work on all the nice summer garments. Yeah, this was it for today. I will do some chores right now, and then I will do a little bit of knitting. No, I do a lot of knitting, and I will bring you with me with that. So if you like, you can enjoy. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
distance I can, so beautiful. I can hear you within the silence. Ooh, we will dance away the gloomy days right here. We are silver line, one of a kind, you and me. Stay close when it rains. Let me keep parts of you. Hand in hand is how we sleep every night. And I will watch you, breath after breath. Hold on, so beautiful. And if you fall, I will catch you. We will dance away the gloomy days right here. We are silver line, one of a kind, you and me. We will dance away the gloomy days right here. We are silver line, one of a kind, you and me. And I can reach you from a distance. I can, so beautiful. I can hear you within the silence.